Good evening, I'm J. Lenore Bressler, and welcome to the April 25th, 2022 edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. I know it's very late at night, but I'm going to get in the delight in the details for the day. Something I just learned, I was reading an article, and it was talking about 8 Hebrew words that every Christian should know. And the very last word that they covered was the word that in the ancient Hebrew is often translated as Messiah. And what was fascinating is that this author was explaining that the underlying word, the root word from which Messiah comes, actually means smeared. Someone who is smeared with something. Now, I don't know about you, but frankly, I've always hated that word smear. But in this case, it refers to the anointing or the smearing of someone with oil, thereby setting him apart and designated him as a chosen one. The author was explaining that this anointing would have been particularly relevant for Hebrew kings and as they were being coronated. But also it had to do with anointing that would have been done by the high priest and even of the Passover lamb. You remember we talked about how everything that was happening to that little lamb at Passover was happening to Jesus during the Passion Week, including the anointing by Mary of his feet in Bethany at the beginning of the week, and then the anointing of his head by the woman, unknown, unidentified woman, later in the week at the house of Simon the leper. So this idea of the Messiah being the anointed, the smeared one, is quite appropriate. We see that all the time in the Bible about the anointing of the Messiah, and the preciousness of that as a designation of meaning and a designation of purpose. Just one more detail that is so fascinating. And that's why I hope you'll join me on the next edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. Bye-bye, and have a great night.